Okay, I guess, Logan, I'll start with you. Just your general overview on this season and how it progressed and just maybe just an overview of everything.
Yeah, difficult, frustrating at times, obviously. We're not used to losing or having a losing season here, so it wasn't fun. I think as a group, we know that every single person needs to be better next year, and I think with this long break, it adds time for guys to get prepared. Motivation should be at an all-time high for everyone. I mean, when you have a year like this, you want to come back and prove people that it was just a fluke, and we believe that we're a good team. We have all the pieces in that room to be successful. We just need to go out and do it.
I know you were injured for a fair amount of his tenure, but what did you think of Bob and the way he came in and the way he sort of performed there?
Yeah, a bunch of it, but I think the team was playing hockey that could win us games. You look at a lot of those early games, we lost 1-goal games, a lot of goals that we gave up late on just small mistakes ended up in the back of our net. So if those games go the other way, I think we're right in it. But the injuries definitely hurt us. Guys, Tommy goes down, Eric goes down there, so it was difficult. But I thought the system that we were playing, the way that we were playing, guys bought into it, and I thought we were playing good hockey with them.
Logan, you talked about the long break you guys have now.
Yeah.
In favor of a mini camp type situation, maybe in between, so you're not going 8-9 months between games for the teams that the 7 teams that they're not advancing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure that teams are discussing it for the 7 teams. I think the PA is probably having some internal discussions about it. It's all about what we're allowed to do. I'm sure if the team wanted to organize something, I'm guessing it would probably be voluntary. I don't know what the rules are going to suggest, but would I? Yeah, I mean, 9 months without competitive hockey, without playing games, is a long time. For me, I go back home, I go to London, and we have a decent group of guys that skate, but it's not overly competitive. So I think I would want to get some competition in, although it's not going to be NHL hockey, some type of competition in.
Logan, it's Curtis. I wanted to ask about the player vote last week as far as the new playoff format. What was the sort of the talk amongst the Sharks players about, as far as agreeing to that new format? And was it difficult to sort of agree that the season had to come to an end for you guys?
I think we kind of got the idea that there was just not enough time for all 31 teams to come back, and if they were going to try and get some hockey in, it would have to go straight to a playoff format. I think for us, our decision was easy when we got that that question, would you prefer a 24 or 16 team? I think for us, 24 teams will create more revenue, and that's a better option for the San Jose Sharks players for more money. Me personally, and I said this on the call, I'm a traditional type of guy where 16 teams should be making the playoffs. The 8 extra, some teams were close, some teams weren't. So for me, being a team that, Tampa or Boston, I would have had a problem with it. And, Tampa came out and said they did. So I see both sides.
Logan or Burnsy, check in on this one.
Get Burnsy in on one. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk.
Burnsy, how difficult maybe has this been mentally, not only just being off and not playing, but, you're still looking ahead and don't really know what's going to happen. And the likelihood is you don't really play competitive games till, late fall, early winter even. How are you handling all this mentally?
Hockey-wise, you're either training or you're playing. So mentally for the hockey side, there's a lot of unknowns. I don't really worry about them. Just we've had great leadership through this issue, letting us know with Cooch and Jonesy, making sure we hear what's going on. They put a lot of time and effort into it. at a big cost. I mean, they've been taking the time to do that and fill the rest of us in, and that's been great. For me, you try to take the silver lining of everything. I've been doing homeschool, spending a lot of family time, organizing a lot of things, working out hard, training, to not know what was going to happen. So just trained like we were going to play and hope that we did, and we're not. So had some pizza and get back to work today.
Question for Tomas. Tomas, how are you feeling right now? And
He prefers if you call him the Rock, actually.
okay, the Rock. There you go. How are you feeling right now? And do you have a timetable as far as when you'd like to maybe start skating again?
Yeah, I feel really good. Right away from the start, I think, a little bit lucky with my knee. I never got really swelling after that. And for me, it's a little bit differentiation other guys because, I'm getting from February for next season. So I wasn't even thinking for this one. And I'm in process, I'm already almost 4 months in, just do all my rehab, everything, but everything going well. And with the time now, I don't know when I will start skate because it's a lot of time. So I'm just doing and make sure I'm strong, with my knee, the muscle get back the same size like before. So I got still, a lot of time. So I just doing, with our condition, Mike Potenza, he sent me every workout we talk about. I just make sure I'm getting strong and healthy. And when it gets a little bit closer, I start again skating. But so far, it still looks like a lot of time left. So I will just keep working out and getting.
This is a question for Brent. Why the Rock for Tommy?
Who? Oh, there's another page here. Who asked that?
This is Shang. Sorry, I don't have video up, but I'm just wondering why the Rock for Tommy.
He's got a sponsorship deal with Under Armour.
Yeah,
and he has the same traps.
Tell him to take his shirt off and you'll find out.
I know. I'm surprised he's not wearing.
I can show you my legs. Maybe I got same size legs, but not the upper body.
Show us where all those cupcakes go.
Yeah, I just saw that this morning.
What did you say this morning? Cupcakes store?
No, the tweet about I saw the waistline in the old baby outfit. I didn't know if it was real or if that was a hula hoop.
Madison here. You do have the ability to pull some silver linings. What for you do you take positive from this season, pandemic aside? What can you take out positively from this year that you take forward?
From this year?
Yeah, from this season, which wasn't a great season, obviously, from a record standpoint. But what do you personally take from it as a positive that you can build on individually and as a team?
Well, I think you always get better going through experiences of good or bad. I think you take everything from it. I think it's easy to see if it's easy for guys to be good guys if everything's going well, and it's you don't really grow from that. So I think everybody, you know what this feels like. A lot of guys here haven't been through a lot of that. I mean, I know we had 1 year there. And it's not easy. I mean, guys know how hard it is to get there. They've just have grown through culture that has been very successful. And with that has come a lot of work and a lot of that mental edge. So I think it's important not to lose that mental edge. I think, it's just not fun. I mean, there's not a lot of positives you can take from that other than not wanting to go back there. It's not fun. It's frustrating. There's nothing really great about it. I mean, even not playing now, you're going to have to train for 7-8 months. That sucks. It's not fun. It's not that's tough work to be prepared to get your body and mind ready for a year. And we're going to have to figure out a way to do that for double, triple the time. I mean, that's not easy. So I think guys train as hard as they can and thank the gods that it's only 2.5 months usually, or 2 months. You know, it's going to be difficult. I mean, it's crazy when you see the transformations of guys that are in great hockey shape, and then they come back and they're in great gym shape, and they're kind of getting into that hockey shape, which is completely different. And you know the sacrifice, you know. You see guys like Hertl with abs, jacked, coming into camp. And then Susie Cakes is there, and he's walking to Susie Cakes in the morning. So, you know, it's a different shape. I mean, but then come December, you can skate for hours. So it's just different. And you're going to have to figure it out. It's unknown. So you do what you do.
How are you training right now?
It's been great. I mean, we're at the ranch where we have a great setup, a lot of running, a lot of weights. We've always got kind of different things to do. And, you know, I think a blessing of not having anybody around, just us as a family. We've been doing a lot of manual labor and a lot of work and construction and things around the ranch that we've never done. So you realize how, you know, I know, I don't know if Hertz would have the same experience, but for me and Cooch growing up in Ontario, and we used to joke around about like the farmer strength. If you ever played against a guy out west or something, and he would grab a hold of you, and you were like, this guy's like 13 and he can just chuck me around. Well, from lifting hay bales and just doing work on the farm and stuff. So it's been great. I mean, physically, the training has been great for me, you know, and I know that's not the same for everybody, because if they don't have a gym set up, it's not great. So, yeah.
Doug talked the other day about the franchise responded after 2015 missing the playoffs. What can you do from that experience, and how you guys are able to bounce back from that disappointment, maybe carry over into next year?
Who did you ask that to? I didn't hear this.
To you, Logan. Yeah.
Yeah, thinking back to that year, that year was a little different. We were in it, I think, until like February, and then we had a tough February. I think a lot of guys went home, and in their summer they made it a priority to be in better shape, to come back with some bite to their game. And you know, Doug challenged a lot of us to step up our games and improve as players, and come into next year and show people that we're still a good team here in San Jose. I mean, I believe that summer a lot of people wrote us off, said the window's closed and this team's done, you know, stick a fork in them. So I think that lit a fire for a lot of us. And it's going to be the same thing this year. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to write those same articles. There's going to be fans that are going to say the same things. And, you know, the only way that can change is we go out and make it change, show them that we're still a good team. We still have the pieces, in my mind, to compete. So really that's all we can do. Work as hard as we can this summer, be as prepared as we can into next camp, have a good training camp, because I think our training camp this year wasn't up to par. So have a better one and get off to a good start, because we didn't get off to a good start this year.
Logan, it's Scott Bair from NBC. Sorry, Kevin. I'm just curious that when you look at this roster, both with the guys that you have coming back and also with the younger guys that you really got a chance to see play, does that kind of give you confidence that you guys can rebound quickly?
Yeah, like I just said, I believe we have the pieces needed to compete in this league. We've got some very good defenders offensively. We've got some guys that have scored 30 goals in this league, and some that do it on a regular basis. Obviously, we need to improve our defense as a team. Special teams, power play needs to be better. But I think we can still win games. We can compete, be a top-level team in the league. Things are going to have to go right. We're going to have to come together and play well as a group. But I think that belief is still there. I don't think that belief has ever wavered.
Logan, Bob talked about, you know, walking into a situation which the team maybe wasn't as cohesive as he had hoped it would have been. And Martin Jones made some comments recently to Elliot Friedman about how when things got tough, guys kind of went their own direction. Is that something that did you view that as an issue, and is that something that can be fixed here, assuming that most of the same guys come back next season? And how do you fix that?
Yeah, actually, I wasn't aware of that, but you know, when you're losing and things aren't going your way, frustration builds, and it builds quickly. And with us, a lot of guys in our room have never gone through a season like that. Some may have years ago, but not recently. So I don't think, you know, from top to bottom, I don't think anyone handled it to the best possible way. And you know, I'm obviously in that group. There's a lot that I think I can learn from this year, and really that's all we can do now is move forward, learn from this, come together. Everyone needs to buy in. You know, everyone got to get on the same page. Like I said, get a good training camp underneath us and get going from there. But everyone will learn from this year, and it'll make us stronger.
Following up on that, Logan, Doug talked a couple of days ago about you know, needing to play right from day one, and you just mentioned that, you know, you guys didn't have a good training camp this past year. So, what was kind of off about the training camp this past year, and what needs to happen that you guys are playing right from day one, you know, from training camp on this coming year?
Yeah, we just weren't sharp. I mean, it not to make an excuse, it's tough when you come off a Western Conference final and you know, summer's short. You still kind of have that feeling, you know, that, you know, you're a really good team, and you maybe think, you know, it's just going to come to you, but you really got to work at it. You know, you look at our preseason games, we got spanked in a lot of those games. Things didn't start off too hot. So I think as a group, it's been discussed, and I believe that we're going to be better in camp this year and preseason and into game one.
Hey guys, real quick, I think Burnsy has an appointment coming up soon, so if we have one more question for him, he's got something to go to.
Burnsy, you might be the one to ask on this. How's Jumbo doing? You know, we haven't talked to him in a while, you know, not being able to go to the rink maybe and be around the guys as much. How's he doing?
Jumbo is great. You know Jumbo, he's always great.
Brent, can I get your thoughts also on the job that Bob did when he came in and just, you know, his performance? Because it seemed like things were kind of moving in the right direction, and then, like Logan said, the injury started to hit, and then, you know, it was tough after that.
Yeah, it's never easy to be involved in the coaching change. Players, coaches, you know, I think across the board, it's a tough situation when it happens, you know, so fast. I think we've been very lucky to have the previous coaches were unbelievable. I mean, that's a fact. They were great coaches. We were lucky to have them. It was a great atmosphere. We had success together. You know, and Boog's coming back from another place. It was awesome. All the guys were excited to have him back. I think he went off and he learned a lot. You know, you could see there was a difference in him from being a head coach for the time he was in Florida. But he still is Boogie. You know, I think at the end of the day, he still has all those positive things that made him so great as an assistant. He learned to be a head coach, so he just evolved and became, you know, a little bit more authoritative. Is that the correct word? You know, I think he has that ability to interact with guys like he's still a player. He's a great communicator. He gets what's going on. He sees it. You know, but at the end of the day, he's got that little bit of a fear of God in him, you know, so it's, you know, I think he learned a lot from Pete being around him too. So, and you're learning from a great coach. So he was great before, but you could definitely see he was more well-rounded. I don't know if well-rounded is the right word. He definitely evolved, and he was better, and he was great. I think He created a great, the atmosphere was still, what he creates is good. I think obviously it's tough to say that with how everything was going, but he did a great job with, where he was at and, where we were at. We had the knowledge. He was detailed. He was extremely detailed, actually, in the different scenarios. He was able to little in-game changes, and if he needed to snap, he could very well. He was great. And obviously I really liked him before too. So, that's not my opinion of him is always going to be high.
Thanks.
Bernsey, I think you had something to get to, so thanks again for joining here. We still have Tomas and Logan on here, guys.
See you, Bernsey.
See you, boys. Great seeing you. See you, Rock.
Yeah.
How do I get out of this thing?
Just exit out.
Logan, it's Scott from NBC. Again, I'm just curious. Wearing that captaincy for the first season, was there anything that surprised you? Anything unusual just about that expanded role, or did it kind of go as you would have thought?
No, nothing surprised me. I've said this many times. I wasn't going to change who I am, how I am in the room, around the guys, how hard I work. Everything I try to do the exact same. So obviously it was a learning experience in a lot of different situations that I've never been in as a player. Coach getting fired, us losing a bunch of games, going through tough times, losing in difficult ways. But I view it, although it was a very difficult season, I view it that I can learn a lot from different situations that we were in as a team, that I was in individually. And, my goal is to become a better teammate, person, player from this past year. So that's the way I view my first year being the captain.
Hey, Logan, good to see you out there. Dan Rusanowski here. Wanted to expand on that really quickly, if I could, and ask about just how difficult it is in a situation that you guys were in last year for a young player to actually integrate into the NHL. And looked like Mario Ferraro was one of those guys that just did that exceedingly well. But can you speak to that and the importance of that as you guys go forward?
Yeah, I think Mario's way more mature than his age says he is. He fits into a pro locker room seamlessly. That probably speaks to the coaches that he had, whether it was in college or in Ontario, and his parents. He's got a great family. I was able to meet his parents in Toronto. So very, very mature kid, loves hockey, loves his teammates, loves the rink. Him and Jumbo really meshed well because they have that same love for the game and passion, and they want to have fun and smile every day. So he's one of those guys on a team that he uplifts everyone. He brings them up onto his level, and his energy is contagious. On some days where you're not feeling as energized, Mario's there to pick you up. So he's a great teammate. He's going to be a fantastic player. I'm excited to watch him grow. He's only going to get better just because he works so extremely hard at the game. He fit in very well.
And this is a question for Tommy. Tommy, it was your first year as an alternate captain. What did you learn, and what might you hope to improve as a leader next year?
Yeah, I don't think so. I try same like coach, I try change, I try to be same, but I want to be better assistant too, especially for coach, because I should be his second hand, help him out. And I think I learned a lot too, get some stuff, be the 5 important leader. And I think we all should be a little bit better, help each other, especially in this situation. We know it was a really tough season and we struggle, and I think we should maybe talk with the team and get better. And we always be, all 20 guys in locker room should be like one. Doesn't matter if you're assistant or captain, we always try to talk to be like one person, because if not, then somebody always get away from the from our way, it will get harder and harder. So I want to learn from that too, but I really enjoy it, and I want to try to get better. I want to again get stronger next year, better, help not just on the ice but off the ice too, and especially Coach, because he was there for me, from the start in my career too, and I want to help him too and be there for him for anything.
Question for either Logan or Tomas. Obviously, we mentioned the differences between that 2014-15 season and the following season when you guys made the Cup final. Team obviously added players like Joel Ward and Paul Martin and traded for Martin Jones, and Jonas Donskoy came into the league. Does this team need to add a top 6 forward, top 9 forward, just to increase its depth? And I know the team has a lot of young guys coming up, but maybe more veteran guy who has been a traditional, reliable goal scorer in this league. Is that what this team maybe needs in this offseason?
Unfortunately, we're not the general manager of the team, so we don't make the call on that. But who knows right now? I don't even know if they have the cap set for next year or what's going on. So I think Doug's gonna do what he does every offseason. He's gonna work as hard as he can to make us give us all the opportunity to be a winning team and a winning franchise like he's done. From the day I got here and for many, many years before that, this isn't ordinary for this organization to have a year like last year. And I'm sure Doug's gonna try and put all the pieces out there for us. So what we come to camp with and go from there, I'm sure that in their minds and hopefully in ours, we're going to have enough pieces to compete and be a good team this year.
Logan, obviously you watch a lot of hockey. You're as much of a fan of the game as anyone. It's pretty well known. Are you looking forward to watching a potential playoff? Obviously, you got some friends that are involved here. Just as a fan, how excited are you to just maybe watch a playoff series?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. There's still a lot and a long way to go for this to happen. And I think it's been well documented that the NHL and the Players Association have worked extremely hard to get to this point. But this is step one in a numerous amount of steps that need to happen. So I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to happen. I hope so. I think our game desperately needs it. This is a time right now where people in this world have, some gigantic things that they're going through. And if sport and hockey can create a small amount of energy or happiness in their life, then I really, really hope that we can come back for those fans and those people just to give them some type of spark to get through, what they're probably going through right now.
Logan, have you been given any sense of how late next season can start to get an 82-game season in?
I've been told what's been reported. Your reporters seem to catch it as soon as the meeting ends. So I think it's out there, whether it's December or January, somewhere in that time frame. From our calls, they haven't set a set date. It's no one knows. There's still so much that's unknown right now, and I don't think anyone's going to commit to a schedule at this time, just because so many things can change and everything is very fluid right now. Things change on a daily basis. So I think for us as a team, probably estimate anywhere from the end of November to January, and then who knows.
It's Scott from NBC. Tomas, I guess I'm just curious, obviously with the injury, that was a setback, but when you look back at the positives from last season, in which areas do you feel like you made strides? And then maybe once you are able to get healthy, what else are you going to kind of continue to work on in terms of on ice play and performance?
I think I was really happy with not really this year, but the year 2-3 years before, and I want to just still keep playing my game. Be strong on the puck, be the guy he can hold the puck, kind of what Jumbo was doing for so many years, holding guys. If 2 comes, he find a way, find another player, and just strive on that. And I think I prove it last couple of years. I can be one of the top players, and one of the top centermen on the team. Me and Coach, and I want to just keep working on it. I got still some setbacks for sure, but I'm not scared about that because I know I always come back, and I think it's just make me stronger because and somebody say probably a lot of you guys, it's not an injury, what will happen, but I taking this like another challenge, and from last year, getting positive, I got an all-star, and it was great experience for me. I really enjoy it, and it's just make me again, I want to one day come back, and I want to be again, really important for my team, and that's why I can now working already for 4 months every day, just even if it's season so far, and this is my challenge, just getting back and be even better than before, and I know I can do it, and that's why I will never stop probably working when the season starts. So it's my head is ready for that, and I have to just give it everything because it's a lot of guys. If you talk with Jumbo, the hockey, it's not that long. What do you think? So we have to just work an ass off and get back, and you will, and it's just up to you.
Tommy, obviously training is different now, but would if the regular season were to start in October, not that it's going to, but if it were to start in October like normal, would you be ready for that? Or would you be ready for late November start like Logan suggested?
I think if I have to knock on my teeth, I think it will be even in October, because right now what I'm feeling, I'm doing almost everything. I can run now, not full speed, but I can do almost everything what I was doing before, and I'm actually really surprised after doing even 4 months. And if I probably know season will start in October, probably in a couple of weeks I will start skating too. So I think if it's extra time, maybe help me, but I think even in October I will be 100% ready and ready for season, but we'll see what happens. But I should be 100% ready for next season, wherever it happens.
Logan, how often have you talked to Joe Thornton, and are you optimistic that he'll be back in a Sharks uniform next season?
I talked to him a few times throughout this whole thing. I FaceTime him. He's a big UFC fan, and I watch UFC most Saturdays, so usually it's talking about that. But knowing Joe, I mean, he's going to want to come back. He's going to, I think he's still got game. I think he still will help, any team that'll take him. So, if he's healthy and he's ready to go, I don't see, why not.
Maybe just a kind of a general question. Would you guys be in favor of an expanded playoff format after this season, especially after maybe Seattle comes into the league? Maybe if it's, 18 teams or 20 teams, would you guys be in favor of that?
No. Making the playoffs should be a feather in your cap. We're one of, even though now once it's still over half the teams make the leagues or the playoffs. So no, do not expand it. Keep it as it is. 16's good the way it's set up. I mean, I'm in favor of all these playoff rounds being 7 games too. I think that's the purest, best way for hockey to be played.
Yeah, same for me. I don't think so. It's neat. I think it's already hard. You have to go through 4 rounds. So I think it's all good, and even everybody talking, for like the difference, if it's first always play 8, I think it doesn't matter. I always think if you wanna.
You freeze?
I lost Tomas here.
That's all good. Sure, he'll come back.
Anything else here for Logan while we're waiting to see if Tomas jumps back on?
Yeah, I have a question for Logan. Do you have plans to continue with your brain research casino night this summer or later?
Yeah, we're looking into it. I'm still in San Jose right now. I'm not sure when I'll be able to or will travel back to London. I've been in contact with the guy that runs it, kind of brainstorming some ideas together. The latest idea is to do something that invites a bunch of nurses and first responders to the event, and I think that's probably the way that we're going to do it. I think that that idea makes the most sense. So obviously, we still have a lot of work to do to put the plans in place, but as of now, we're looking to do it with a few different options.
Oh, and I had to ask Logan too. You mentioned having Zoom calls with Jumbo. What's it like seeing him without his beard?
Yeah, he looks a little different. He looks younger, that's for sure. But you know, it was weird. I was watching the other day, or a while ago. They're showing, I think, games from the 2013 playoffs against Vancouver, and Jumbo didn't have much of a beard. And it's just like looking at a different person. It's crazy.
Hey guys, real quick, I think Tomas trying to log back in here for the last couple questions. If we got a couple more for each guy, then we can let these guys head out.
He's gone again.
Yeah, I think he said he's having some issues with his Wi-Fi.
Never trust the Wi-Fi in Prague.
And Logan, can I ask you, Madison here,
Yeah.
since we're waiting on Tomas, you mentioned UFC, and I apologize to everyone if this is a little specific on the TV broadcast side, but what have you thought about some of those sports that have returned, including the UFC, the golf the other day, watching that without fans?
I love it. I think obviously the UFC fighters would much rather fight in front of fans, but they also understand right now this has got to be our new normal for the time being. And I think the UFC has done a great job with it. They had that one positive test with the fighter, and I believe the first event, and his two of his cornermen, and he didn't fight obviously, and they were able to quarantine him and keep him away. And you know, that's the way that the system's supposed to work. So the system they put in place has been working. I think Dana White's done a great job. It adds excitement to my Saturdays, and they had one in the middle of the week there on a Wednesday, and the golf was great too. I mean, to have that, you know, that access to those guys with the video and the mic in their carts and on them at all times was awesome. I mean, I wish they could do it all the time. You know, get the players' reactions right after shots, all that. So I think it's looked great on TV. It sounded great. I look forward to watching these events, and nothing but good things to say about them.
So would you have an aversion within that? I mean, like, you know, I'm someone who's always pushing stuff. With no fans in the stands with hockey, we're going to hear a lot more live of what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
And there's obviously some caution out there. There's some concern. I'm, you know, of the mindset of like, let's just go with it. What concern would you have about us as viewers, broadcasters, really hearing everything that's going on the ice?
I think you're going to have about a 10 to 15 second delay for you guys, that's for sure. You know, it's tough. Even when we're playing, you know, playoff games, a lot of us are mic'd up in a lot of those games. And, you know, you think about it a little bit and warm up, and then once the puck drops, you forget that you got a mic on. And, you know, you may say something dumb on the bench to lighten the mood, or say something to a trainer that's just out of the blues or out of the ordinary. And then you're thinking like, damn, I got this mic on. I hope these people in the truck don't think I'm, you know, an idiot. But I think guys will be open to it. I think it gives people, you know, fans a deeper look into the game on the ice. There's a lot of talk on the ice that obviously doesn't get heard with the fans in the building. Not that it's a terrible thing, but just to hear the way that players communicate with each other on the ice would be interesting for a lot of fans. I think it would be more interactive.